Attraction is fragile. It doesn't need a dramatic failure to break. It dies quietly, slowly, through small, repeated mistakes most men don't even notice. You think you're being thoughtful, attentive, showing that you care. You text her back right away, shower her with compliments, open up about everything on your mind. You think you're building a connection, but she starts to pull back. Her texts get shorter, her energy fades, and you wonder what went wrong. This video is about that answer, the silent behaviors that destroy attraction before it even has a chance to grow. Because most men don't get rejected for being boring. They get rejected for showing up with the wrong energy, and they don't even know they're doing it. Let's break down the top 5 attraction-killing mistakes and show you how to fix them from the inside out. Mistake number 1, being too available. You're always online, always responding instantly, always making space in your schedule, no matter how short the notice. It feels like commitment, like loyalty, but in reality, it communicates something deeper. My time isn't valuable. The man who is too available signals that he has nothing going on. No purpose driving him, no boundaries. And when your world starts revolving around her too soon, it doesn't make her feel special. It makes her feel pressure. Attraction needs space. If you're constantly orbiting her, she can't miss you. If she can't miss you, she can't desire you. Remember, your time is your power. If you give it freely, it loses weight. But if you protect it, she learns to value it. Being present is attractive. Being overpresent is not. Mistake number 2, needing reassurance. You constantly look for signs. You ask questions like, "Are you still interested?" Or, "Did I do something wrong?" You try to manage her perception of you in real time. Attraction dies when a man needs her validation to feel grounded. The more you seek proof of connection, the less connected she feels. It's not that you care too much. It's that you care from the wrong place. From fear, not certainty. From doubt, not clarity. And that energy speaks louder than any words. The truth is, a confident man doesn't need to be told he's desirable. He knows it, and that knowing creates gravity. When you need reassurance, you create emotional pressure. You put her in the position of stabilizing you, and that instantly flips the polarity. Subscribe and hit the bell, because the next mistake is one almost every man makes without realizing it, and it's costing you more than you think. Mistake number 3, over-explaining yourself. You feel the urge to justify every action, explain every decision, soften every statement so she won't misinterpret your intent. But here's what you're really saying without realizing it. "I'm not sure if this is okay. I hope you'll approve." Confident men don't explain themselves endlessly. They don't fill every silence. They don't ask for permission to speak directly. They say what they mean, and they let the silence after it do the heavy lifting. When you over-explain, you shrink. You signal uncertainty, and women don't trust a man who seems unsure of himself, even if his words sound logical. Attraction lives in clarity, in certainty, in calm presence. If you can't stand behind your decisions without justifying them, she won't either. Stop trying to manage how you're perceived. Start standing in who you are. Mistake number 4, putting her on a pedestal. You may not say it out loud, but your actions show it. You treat her like she's above you, more valuable, more important, more desirable. You overpraise. You filter your opinions to avoid conflict. You try to earn her attention instead of simply inviting her into your world. This flips the masculine-feminine dynamic. She becomes the prize. You become the applicant. But attraction doesn't thrive when the man acts like he's lucky just to be chosen. She wants to feel chosen by a man who already values himself. a man who doesn't need her to feel complete. The moment you prioritize her comfort over your standards, over your voice, over your truth, you stop being a man she can trust. Don't try to win her over. Let her experience the man who doesn't chase. Mistake number 5, emotional overexposure. You open up too quickly. You share your insecurities, past wounds, and deep feelings before trust or polarity has been built. You think it shows honesty, that it makes you real, but when it's too soon, it makes her feel like she has to carry your emotions. And she didn't ask for that weight. Masculine energy leads by containment, not collapse. You don't hide your truth, but you reveal it in layers, with timing. When you emotionally unload without context, it feels like you want her to fix something for you. That's not connection, that's pressure. Real vulnerability is powerful, but only when it's grounded. If it's coming from a place of need or emptiness, it repels. Share your depth, but never as a substitute for strength. Let's be honest. These mistakes don't mean you're weak. They mean you were never taught how attraction really works. Most men learn to be nice, to please, to avoid conflict. But that conditioning teaches you to abandon your own edge in exchange for attention. And it never works. The truth? Women don't lose interest because you're not good enough. They lose interest because your energy shifts from grounded to needy, from confident to uncertain. Attraction isn't about being flawless. It's about being consistent in who you are. It's about standing still when the old version of you would have bent, chased, apologized. When you stop these behaviors, you're not becoming someone new. You're becoming who you were before the world told you to soften. Now flip the lens. Imagine a woman doing exactly what you've been doing. She texts nonstop. She apologizes for being herself. She shares her entire emotional history on the second date. At first, it might feel flattering, but quickly, the weight becomes clear. It's not attraction, it's pressure. Attraction thrives in space, tension, pacing. And when someone overinvests before there's emotional grounding, the energy feels off. It's the same when you do it. Not because you're wrong for caring, but because the intensity isn't earned yet. You're not meant to be perfect, but you are meant to be steady, intentional, present. Give her the gift of wondering what's behind your calm, not your constant need to be seen. When you do less but mean more, she feels it. The men who naturally draw women in without effort all share one thing. They hold their frame. They don't collapse when she pulls away. They don't chase when the energy shifts. They don't overthink a delayed reply or try to win her back after one awkward moment. They stay still, calm, unmoved, not because they don't care, but because they care more about their standards than about forcing connection. That's the difference. High-value men respond with intention. Low-value men react out of fear. And women can feel that difference immediately, not through words, but through subtle energy, eye contact, breath, silence, presence. When your nervous system stays relaxed while hers fluctuates, you become the anchor. And anchors are irresistible when everything else feels uncertain. Here's what separates men who grow from men who repeat cycles: self-awareness. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about seeing them clearly and having the humility to shift. When you stop texting out of fear, when you stop over-explaining, when you stop proving your worth, you create space for something rare: self-respect. You begin to move differently. You speak less but mean more. You stop needing permission to feel powerful. You simply are. And that shift doesn't just change how women respond to you. It changes how you respond to the world. You no longer chase connection. You build it, slowly, authentically, from a place of internal calm. And once you operate from that place, everything else starts aligning. You weren't born with these mistakes. You learned them through conditioning, through culture, through desperation to get it right. But you don't need to unlearn who you are. You just need to remove what you were taught to do when you didn't feel enough, when you stopped chasing approval, when you stop giving your energy away to avoid discomfort, when you start choosing instead of hoping. That's when women feel it. Not because you're cold, but because you're rooted. You've stopped performing and started embodying. The irony? When you stop caring if she stays or leaves, she leans in. Not because you played a game, but because your power became real. And real power doesn't need to prove itself. It just is. Attraction isn't built through effort. It's built through energy. And when you shift from trying to get her to simply being you, everything aligns. You stop explaining. You stop chasing. You stop managing her reactions. And you start leading with calm, with edge, with quiet clarity. The most attractive men aren't loud. They're not perfect. They're grounded, solid. They move slow, speak less, and give energy where it's earned, not where it's expected. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to subtract everything that makes you show up needy, rushed, or unsure. Respect isn't something you demand. It's what you reflect. Which of these mistakes have you caught yourself making, and which one are you going to eliminate first? Let's talk in the comments. If this opened your eyes, don't miss what women secretly want but never say, and how to attract women without money, looks, or status. They'll shift how you think, move, and connect, so you stop chasing and start attracting the right way.